Planning applications can feel like a confusing and stressful process. But what if I told you that in some cases, you can alter, extend, or convert your home without planning permission? Sounds great. So what are these cases? And of course, what are the T&Cs attached to them? As an example, let me take this semi-detached house to explore all the possibilities with you and show you how to do it right. This video is part of a series to cover all the possibilities of building without planning permission. If you are interested to know more, make sure to follow this channel. Now let's dive in. In the UK, homeowners can improve and extend their homes without needing planning permission if they stay within certain limits and conditions. This is known as Permitted Development Rights, or PD rights for short. This property is a typical semi-detached house, like those you find across the UK. The boundary is defined by the party wall shared with a neighbour and by the front, rear, and side boundary lines or fences. The principal elevation in planning terms is typically the front of the house that faces the highway and has the main entrance. So, what can we add to it? A loft conversion is a smart way to turn unhabitable space to extra rooms without needing a foundation, such as a self-contained bedroom or a home office. Under PD rights, you can add up to 50 cubic meters of additional roof space for detached or semi-detached houses, or 40 cubic meters for terraced houses. However, there are several other important requirements to consider. I'll go through this step by step, using this semi-detached house as an example. Dormer windows are one of the most common additions in a loft conversion. Under PD rights, dormers can be added on the rear or side of the roof, but not on the principal elevation facing a highway. Other key restrictions are: the dormer cannot extend higher than the highest part of the existing roof, or project beyond the outer face of the existing walls. Verandas, balconies, or raised platforms are not permitted development, nor side-facing windows, unless they are obscure glazed and non-openable, or the opening parts are at least 1.7 meters above the internal floor level. You might be wondering, can you combine a rear dormer with a side dormer to create a wraparound loft conversion? The answer is yes. Unlike wraparound single-story extensions at ground level that was explained in my last video, which are more restricted, a wraparound loft conversion can often be carried out under PD rights. However, the same rules still apply as we just discussed for dormer windows. A hip-to-gable roof extension is a great option for properties with a hipped roof, as it helps maximizing the usable loft space. Because it follows the existing roof form, extending it to a vertical gable rather than adding a structure on top, it can match the height of the original roof ridge and align with the existing eaves. The other rules still apply as we just discussed for dormer windows. So, can you combine a hip-to-gable roof extension with a rear dormer? The answer is yes. And in fact, this is one of the most effective ways to maximize your loft space. In this case, the total additional roof space stays within 50 cubic meter limit. And as long as the design follows all the rules we just discussed, It can be carried out under PD rights. Okay, as you can see, there is a lot we could do under the PD rights for just a loft conversion. For this typical semi-detached house, if we take the minimum clear height for a loft of around 2.2 meters, this could add about 22.7 square meters of space without planning permission. That's a lot of potential. As mentioned earlier in the video, there are T&Cs attached to the PD rights. Let's break them down. PD rights only apply to common projects for houses, not to flats, maisonettes, or other buildings. PD rights do not apply to listed buildings and is removed or partially removed for a building within a conservation area or other Article 4 direction enforced areas. This information is available on your council's website. The combined footprint of all extensions cannot exceed 50% of the total area of land around the original house. The original house refers to how it is originally or has been since July 1st, 1948. It's worth checking if there are previous extensions, either under PD rights or planning permission, because that will count towards your PD allowance. The external materials used for the extension must match or be similar in appearance to the original house, such as roof tiles, bricks or render facade, windows and doors. While you don't need planning permission for a project under PD rights, obtaining a lawful development certificate is highly recommended. Think of it like a gas safety certificate. It's a legal document that proves your development is lawful. This is especially important when selling your property, as a buyer's solicitor will likely request it. Though it may seem contradictory to the purpose of the PD rights, rest assured that the council cannot reject your application if your project complies with PD rights. Plus, it's much simpler and cheaper than a full planning application. Now that we have the basics of the loft conversion under PD rights covered, you can see they come with a lot of potential, but also some limitations. If you are unsure about any aspect, feel free to leave us a comment. Thanks for watching and see you next time.